Yes, thank you for being here. Sorry it took me a minute to get my little thing situated here. Trying to put it over on Discord. Okay, so everything is good. It's been a while since I've done a video. Good to be back. I wanted to start off with this. This is a hi Spudsy. Hi Segway. Segue to the picture. Yes, I'm so glad you guys are here. It's been so long. Okay, so back in 1968, there was a prophecy from a 90-year-old woman in Norway. You guys have probably heard about this, but I wanted to go back over it in case people haven't. Just a little bit of it. Because it really made an impression on me. So there are 4 points that she makes from her vision. Okay? She said 4 waves. She called them waves. Okay, the first wave, before Jesus comes and before the Third World War breaks out, there will be a detente like we've never had before. There will be peace between superpowers in the East and the West, which we've had up until recently. And there will be a long peace. Remember, this was in 1968 when the Cold War was at its highest. In this period of peace, there will be a disarmament in many countries. Also in Norway, and we're not prepared when the war comes. The Third World, I just got chills. The Third World War will begin in a way no one would have anticipated, and from an unexpected place. Some people are saying Syria. Okay, wave number 2, a lukewarmness without parallel will take hold of the Christians, of falling away from true living Christianity. Christians will not be open for penetrating preaching. So, preaching on hell or sin, or, like you could name off some sins that people are not willing to even bring up. They will not, like in earlier times, want to hear of sin. Well, I just said that. And grace. Grace, I know faith without works is dead, but grace is the unmerited favor of the Lord saving you from hell. Like he paid for your sin. So it doesn't mean you have to stop trying to be more like him or like his righteousness. But our righteousness is like filthy rags. Anyway, I'm not going to preach. Law and gospel. So Christians are not open to law and gospel. Death, burial, resurrection of Jesus. Everyone wants to talk about other things besides the basic 3 things that we're supposed to preach the good news to people. We got to get back to that. And repenting, which is good for you, because when you let it go, then you're free of it. And forgiveness. Repenting for what you've done and forgiving others. And restoring those relationships, because people are people. That's what I say. People are people. There will come a substitute instead. Prosperity Christianity. And we've all heard people that are just happy Christianity, prosperity Christianity. Everything's going to be okay. There's, so many things that are set up for us to, be okay. Well, I got news. World War III is coming. It's probably already started. I'm going to show you a clip of Biden where he says that it takes a year to get people out. Okay, so when you're moving, you're packing up all your belongings and everything. It takes a long time because you want to have things organized. You want to, like, when you get there, you want to, be able to unpack it, put it in the kitchen. So you write kitchen on it or whatever. And you put your kitchen belongings in the kitchen box. But when you get to the house, the new house, you're like, oh, I can unpack this kitchen, everything that says kitchen, go to the kitchen. And it's easier to unpack everything. It's harder to pack everything, making sure you have bubble wrap or some sort of newspaper or cardboards and boxes, and packing it all up takes a long time. Biden says it takes a year to get everyone out. So that's like after it's all done. Well, I guess I'd be packing up too, but I think getting there and having everything that you need, especially if you're going to a far place, like I think it would take longer to get there. But we know it doesn't just happen automatically. So when I say World War III has begun on my tag, it's because planes, bombs, drones, probably robots, which I did see an article once, but I haven't seen anything about that since. But I would say robots are going to be used, at least the dogs, because they've had those on the border. I don't know, I've seen them training with them, not military, but the people who make them, training with them. Maybe I could remember to show you a clip that I have of that. It's very cool. Sorry I haven't been on, guys. How have you been? So we just did number 2. Let me see if there's anything else here. The important thing will be to have success, all this success, to be something, to have material things, things that God never promised us in this way. Churches and prayer houses will be emptier and emptier. Well, that's happened, especially since COVID. And people get their feelings hurt easier. So they're like, I'm not going back to that church. It's just easy. Back when I was in church, if you left the church, our church at least, would be like, okay, when you come back, you have to repent. And I don't necessarily think that's right. I think that's extreme. But it's kind of like maybe the prodigal son, depending on what was going on. But just to say, oh, if you leave and you want to come back, you have to repent. Not necessarily. What if your kid's been in the hospital or something you didn't want to share with the church that you didn't want to, like the reasons that you left shouldn't be public. That's between you and God. But I'm just saying how strict it was back then. Churches and prayer houses will be emptier and emptier. Instead of the preaching we've been used to for generations, like to take up your cross and follow Jesus, entertainment, art, and culture will invade the churches where there should have been gatherings for repentance and revival. This will increase markedly just before the return of Jesus. So I think maybe what she saw was the new music where they've got guitars now in churches. They didn't have that back then. They had like an organ. Art and culture. So they've got flags, banners that they're waving now before the Lord, which I think is going to happen in heaven. I think that is beautiful. But if you're going from organ music and hymnals to screens with words on them, and so people can sing along because they don't know, the song or whatever, it's replaced hymnals. The speakers, all the instruments. It's more like a rock concert kind of in some churches. So yeah, to be entertained and it's all pleasing to the eye, but I mean, we're there to please the Lord and to really get, it does help fuel you up for the week to participate in that. I'm sure it releases endorphins in your brain to where you're seeing scenery, but the Holy Spirit wants to have time with you when you're in church. He wants to the church to be united. That's going to get me sidetracked because I want to tell you all about what's been happening, but let's stick to this. I want to see how you guys are doing first. I wanted to finish number 2. We got one more there on that. Just thank you for being here. Okay. Thank you so much. I say 5 people. Let me make sure it's on live chat though, so I can make sure I get all your messages. Okay, so that was number 2. And then number 3, there's going to be a moral disintegration that old Norway has never experienced the likes of. People will live together like married without being married. So that wasn't a thing back then. Most people were married when they lived together. Much uncleanliness before marriage and much infidelity in marriage will become the natural, and it will be justified from every angle. So pretty much just whatever feels good, do it. It will even enter Christian circles, and we will let it. Even sin against nature, bestiality. Just before Jesus returns, there will be TV programs like we've never experienced. TV had just arrived in Norway in 1968. So this was the same year, I think. TV will be filled with such horrible violence that it teaches people to murder and destroy each other, and it will be unsafe in our streets. People will copy what they see. Whoa, I just got chills again. Big chills. There will not be only one station on TV. It will be filled with stations. She didn't know the word channel, which we use today. Therefore, she called them stations. TV will be like the radio, where we have many stations, and it will be filled with violence. People will use it for entertainment. Video games, anybody? We will see terrible scenes of murder and destruction, one of the other, and this will spread in society. Sex scenes will also be shown on the screen, the most intimate things that take place in a marriage. Then the old woman said, "It will happen. You will see it. All we have had before will be broken down, and the most indecent things will pass before our eyes." That's number 3. That's one more. So this is right before the coming of the Lord, okay? The last wave here. People from poor countries will stream to Europe and the United States. Anybody? In 1968, there was no such thing as immigration. How about that? They will also come to Scandinavia and Norway. There will be so many of them that people will begin to dislike them and become hard with them. They will be treated like the Jews before the Second World War. Then the full measure of our sins will have been reached. The tears streamed down from the old woman's eyes, down her cheeks. I will not see it, but you will. Then, suddenly, Jesus will come, and the Third World War breaks out. It will be a short war. She saw it in the vision. All that I have seen of war before is only child's play. I got chills again. Compared to this one. And it will be ended with a nuclear atom bomb. Wow. I didn't remember that from the last time I read it. The air will be so polluted that one cannot draw one's breath. Maybe that's what wormwood is. I mean, if you saw a star falling from the heavens, oh my gosh. And last night, you guys, I had a dream. Russell Crowe was in my dream, which I laugh at that because maybe it was just a dream, but maybe it wasn't. But I saw in my dream, I thought it was like some sort of bomb, like a big bomb. I saw it coming like this. Well, he was watching it. It was like I was watching him see what was happening to him in the dream. So the bomb was like going over his head. He was like, because you knew, like he knew that it was bad. It was big and bad. And when it hit, it just like, it was going further away from him. It wasn't like right where he was at, but where he was at was affected because the oil, there was some sort of an oil pump station or something underground that bolstered up into like causing the oil to sprout out of the hole. Like it was just like boom, like an after effect or something of it. But from further away, whoever got that was really bad. It was gonna be really bad. That was my dream. Okay, back to this lady's vision. The air will be so polluted that one cannot draw one's breath. It will cover, ooh, this says several continents. America, Japan, Australia, and the wealthy nations. Not sure which wealthy nation she's talking about. But what was wealthy back in 1968? Does anybody know? Was it Europe or I don't even know. But Japan, America, Australia? Maybe it was more than one. It just says a nuclear atom bomb. We can no longer till the soil. The water will be ruined, contaminated. The result will be that only a remnant will remain. The remnant in the wealthy countries will try to flee to the poor countries. So listen up, all you poor countries. I'd stay right where you are. But they will be as hard on us as we were on them. So if you end up being here for the Great Tribulation and you have to flee to the poor countries, get ready because they're gonna be cruel to you for coming there because you weren't inviting, I guess, to them. Of course, people were, but I don't know. Just depends. There are some that treat people badly, but like you consider Sweden. So yeah, that's a chicken, and I'm going to end up getting sidetracked again. I'm so glad that I will not see it, she said. But when the time draws near, you must take courage and tell this. I have received it from God, and nothing of it goes against what the Bible tells. So, I mean, I can put this in the room for you guys so you can see it. Plus, I need to pop out the chat room. Okay, not there. Been a while. There we go. Pop out chat. Okay. Welcome, welcome, one and all. Okay. So that was that. And there's been so much happening, and I just wanted to tell you this. The kitchen's done, the bathroom's done, the outside water problem is deterred, fixed, whatever. The dining room floor is done, but a couple cabinets. Which one is on the porch that the chicken's in? And I gotta get that taken care of. Like pronto. My husband built a new coop, which was crushed by the tree. Needs painted inside because of water, on USB board or OSB board, whatever it's called. So the chickens, I still have to take care of that. Still have to take care of this room, get everything situated. I was gonna wait to come back on till I could get this room all situated. But I decided to come on today. And there's just so much been happening. I know you guys, Spudsy, Segway, you've seen everything happening, but I'm going to go back just a tidbit. Today is 9/24. And now some people are saying that Rosh Hashanah has already been decided because they know my mind's going like so many places right now with Rosh Hashanah. Okay, so right here it says it begins tomorrow on the 25th, ends on the 27th. So any time between now and nightfall on the 27th, that Jesus could come. And I'm saying that because the trumpet is blown, many successions of it, they do different things with it. Like burr, 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 and then they go burr, 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 burr. Like they do different sounds with it. So the trumpet is blown. There is a last trump on the Feast of Trumpets. I'm not connecting any dots because the rapture, harpazio, and the second coming, which I believe and have been taught and seen in scripture, and it's interpreted different ways, okay? But the Jews, I'm going to just go with that. The Jews have, well, no, I shouldn't even say the Jews. These are God's feasts. These are, these are God's feasts. There is appointed times, and in Hebrew it's called Moedim. And there used to be a menorah with 9 candles, including the Festival of Lights, the Hanukkah. I think that's the last one. Let's just look it up real quick. Menorah and the appointed times. We were looking at this in Bible study the other night. So, okay, here's one with 9. So these last two are not on the one with the 7. So you got, let me just make this big so you can see it. Okay. So you've got Passover, that's the death, the blood of Jesus, okay? Then you got unleavened bread, which he fulfilled, burial, okay? The feast of the first fruits, his resurrection, where he took the fruits of his labor that were dead before him, the ones that were in Abraham's bosom, took them on up to their, resurrection. And then Pentecost, which was the outpouring of God's Spirit. That's number 4. That was at the day of Pentecost, the mighty rushing wind, flew into the upper room and baptized all of them. So they were told, go there. And all of these feasts are not just from when Jesus fulfilled them, but also when Moses was in the wilderness with the children of Israel. And remember at the Passover, they put the blood on the door and the unleavened bread. Maybe that has to do with the manna. I'm not sure. The first fruits, the resurrection. I'm not sure about Egypt's day, what the feasts were. It's all in Leviticus, though. You can go look at it. I'm not sure about Pentecost. I just know about these last, like this symbolism of God's patterns. So he did it before, he's doing it again, and he is at the Feast of Trumpets now, number 5. And then that's his returning to get the people that are dead in Christ, and those that are alive and remain are caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And then there's the Battle of Armageddon, Day of Atonement. So the wicked on the earth are being judged, and well, they're being punished, right? The trumpets are being blown for that too. And the bowls are being poured out, which is God's wrath, and that's in the second half of the tribulation. It's 3.5 years and 3.5 years. And then on Sukkot, that's when he dwells with us on earth. Because at the end of the Battle of Armageddon, he brings down the kingdom of heaven, the second coming, touches his feet down on the Mount of Olives, wipes out all those wicked ones that are probably half and half of artificial with their mark, artificial intelligence, and then all the wicked stuff, the drones, the AI, everything that's got blood that's been given over to the beast. They're wiped out, and the blood goes to the bridle of the horse. And so then he sets up, number 7, sets up his millennial kingdom for 1,000 years. That's what millennial means. And we rule and reign. We come back with Jesus on the white horses. He's first. He's got the sword in his mouth. I'm not sure what he does, if he has to slaughter them with the sword of his mouth, or if he just speaks it and wipes them out like that. I mean, Jesus isn't gonna, like, I don't know. I don't know what he's gonna do. There's gonna be blood to the bridle, though. Their blood will spill. Okay, I'm not sure if we fight with them either. It doesn't say that. Alright, and then Purim is the end of that. So they're dead because the good Jesus has wiped them out. Now they got to go to judgment. Now they got to stand before God, and they will bow. Every knee will bow. And then Hanukkah, new heaven, new earth. That's after the millennial reign. So I hope that kind of shows you about these feasts. These are God's feasts. These aren't the Jews. Cut that out. Having them right there by the window. Let me see if I can close the window. Never mind. I'm not going to get up. Never mind. You're just going to have to deal with the chickens, guys. It's a little extra entertainment for you. There you go, Spudsy. She's already used to it. Okay, so tomorrow we could be seeing each other. You and me, the family of God, could be together, and then they can have their World War III, you know? So she's saying that World War III, I saw the time just before the coming of Jesus, and the outbreak of the Third World War. So World War III hasn't technically started yet. Some people might say that it has because of all the buildup and everything. They got Chechens. You aren't going to believe some of the stuff. Let's get into it. I've yammered enough. All right, let's start at the top. Because these are today. I mean, these are very quick. I'll just try to go quickly, like I always do, but it's going to probably be a while. Okay, we got to try to limit this, though. Let's say it's almost 1, so an hour and 10 minutes from now. So we'll stop at 2 o'clock. If you guys can hang in with me for that long. Okay, we got India. We got 36 people over the past 24 hours that the weather has killed in India. 12 of those 36 people died by lightning. So this lightning is getting dangerous. Climate crisis triggers spike in lightning strikes, deaths in India, Bangladesh. India flood kills over 100. Millions are in need of aid. In India, waiting for the monsoon, they're using flood alerts. Okay, I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of any of these because there's so much. You just can't even believe it. All right, let's go through these. Now, this is something that we're going to start hearing about next week on Monday, okay? There's a Starlink for Iran, okay? There's a special surprise about Starlink for Iran on Monday of next week. Stay tuned. So in Iran, we've got all sorts of chaos going on. They are really making the police pay. We'll put it like that, for the way they've treated people. And anybody who smacks a woman now in Iran, you might get smacked back by some people that are fed up with the smacking and the beating and the horribleness of how they're treating the women. So this one woman, she died, and she'd taken off her headscarf and all that, and started a revolution pretty much. So you'll see her face everywhere, and I've got some stuff on that from, I think it was yesterday. That's just, it's sick how people are so capable of just violence, like kicking people in the head. Some of the stuff I can't even show you. I'll just put this one right here, like in the chat room, and then you guys can go watch it. Because if I play it, I might get in trouble for violence or something. There's so much of it going on. I don't know. All right, this was real interesting. It's there's 20 things. The evidence was removed and everything after the buildings collapsed. 20 things why the official story is not true. And I'm not going to go into 9/11, of course, because that would take all day. All right, this is an old clip of Biden that I want you guys to see. It's 40 seconds.
And it makes a big difference to tell the American people the truth about what our options are in ending this war. If tomorrow the order goes out from I'm President of the United States, I issue an order, end the war today, begin to withdraw all American troops. It will take a year to get the American troops out. Do you hear me now? That's the truth. It will take a year to get them physically out. Now, if you leave all the equipment behind, you might be able to do it in 7 months.
7 months.
And you leave those billions of dollars of weapons behind, I promise they're going to be used against your grandchild and mine someday.
So they knew when they left Afghanistan, by leaving all that equipment behind, that would be used against people one day. Probably already is. They're probably like a big mafia now. So this guy here, I just want to show you just a little. Okay, right here. Throws him or her against this thing and just starts beating the crap out of them. Probably wanting to steal the bag, but they just beat the crap. Fiona is hitting Canada in a big way, you guys. This is a massive storm hitting. Some of the wind is up to 119 kilometers or whatever per hour. And that was today, 3 o'clock. That'll be like that. That's what they're predicting. And there's thousands, hundreds of thousands without power. Good thing it's not winter yet. And you guys, I'm worried about the UK. I'm worried about Europe. I mean, what's coming with the way they're shutting down all the gas and the natural gas and cutting Russia off from helping and Ukraine off from helping with the wheat, and there was a huge explosion with the oil refinery, the largest oil refinery. Hey, Kate. Yeah, Kate's up there in Canada. Look out, Kate. You got, of course, you're not gonna get anything from this probably, but your neighbors are. Yeah, here's the Chechens. Oh my gosh. And then President Putin, he's sending, like, I heard, was it 2 days ago? It was like 100,000 or 200,000 or maybe even 300,000. That was a lot to me. I was like, whoa, that's a lot. Today, I read that he has a secret, it's not a secret if I know it, thing where he's sending 1,000,000. It's kind of like an executive order set, something like they can send up to 1,000,000. And these Russians do not want to go to war. They're protesting and then they're getting beaten for protesting. And they're like being forced to go die in this war. And they don't want to go because from what I hear, they've been getting their butts kicked. But these Muslims, they're just ready for all out war. They're like, bring it on. I'm signing up. They got like a whole bunch of them. It says, although Putin only ordered partial mobilization, Chechen lunatic Kadyrov has enacted full conscription in Chechnya, where conscription plans have been overfulfilled by 250%, as scores of Chechen jihadis have signed up in mass to be deployed to Ukraine. Happy birthday to Sherelle. Happy birthday. I got something. So I kind of peeked because I didn't want it to break because it says fragile on it. But Sherelle sent me a birthday, and today's her birthday. And I have something for you, Sherelle, but I need your address. I don't think it's on this box. No, because this came from California. So I'm going to open it. I taped it back up. I kind of peeked. I didn't look at it real good. It's so beautiful. And I wanted you guys to see it. I wanted you to see me open it. Because this is actually my first ever gift that, like, you know, from somebody that I met online. So, open it up so you can see. It's fun, isn't it? Dun, da, da, da. Oh, I didn't see my name on it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it says Christ. It says Christ King. Look at that. You know, somebody in Bible study, was it last night? Whatever. I'm not sure what today is, Saturday, so it was Thursday. Somebody in Bible study, no, it was Wednesday. I went to this other server on Wednesday because I was bored, and he was like, Christy King, calling me Christy King. That was the second time that's happened. Oh, cool. How do you open it? How do you open the lid? Okay, let's see. There's something in here. No remojo, no dejar car, no apto para lavaplatos. Tumbler care. Okay, now I can speak in English. Oh no, it's okay. It's hilarious. Christ is King. See, because when they got it, they were probably like, oh, that's probably a mistake. It's probably like supposed to say Christ. Christ is King, which is kind of why I did that. Like, because when we get to heaven, because my last name's not really King, but in heaven, I'm a child of the King. You get it? So they'll fix it for you. No, 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 no. I want it like that. Christ is King. That's more important. Don't you ever feel bad about that. Like, Be still and know. Psalm 46:10. Look at that. I love this. I love it, Shrill. Thank you so much. Now I gotta figure out how to work this. There's some way. I am not mechanically inclined. It's stuck there. Like, isn't that supposed to... Am I a retard? I think I'm a retard. I think you're supposed to be able to... Oh, it slides. Okay. It slides. That's cool. Never seen one slide before. Yes, I love this. Let's see if my big fat hand will fit in it. Yeah. I can clean it. That's my test whenever I get cups. I have to be able to stick my hand in there. Because my knuckles like rub the sides. I got big bones. Watch out. I can punch pretty freaking hard. So, you jihadis come to my house, you might get something you didn't expect. We gotta watch out, guys, because, I mean, she's saying, this lady in prophecy, I do, I love it. I'm gonna use it a lot. I'll drink water for the most part. Right now, I'm drinking black cherry juice, and it's helping my foot, which probably means I got gout. I don't know, but somebody told me that celery seed extract helps your kidneys enough to like maybe cure that. So hopefully I can get all that straightened out. So here we go with the Chechens. They're lining up. They're like, send me, baby. I want to kill some. What is that? What are those things? Like, give me the new equipment. Give me the drones. Give me the uniforms that when your uniform senses that you have a cut, will send like a squishy band-aid out of your uniform onto your body and stop the bleeding or something. Did you guys see that? These guys are ready to kill. They've been playing video games. They know. Like, they've been probably practicing on their brothers, probably. Who knows? I do. I love it. Okay, so here is a cryogenic, and this was offered as a promotion video to me. I'm like, I'm going to talk about that. Quantum computers, a refrigerator for quantum computers that's built by IBM, 100,000 times colder than outer space, and could eventually house quantum processors up to million qubits. So this is new technology right here, how to refrigerate these quantum computers that are being used by AI, used by CERN to have all these algorithms, keep all of our information, all the videos we do, all the things that your phone is recording as you're just sitting there, and it's seeing through your hole, your little camera hole. So they're keeping track of everything. They're keeping track of your poo. When you go poop, it goes down the hole, goes to their little sensors and all through that at the processing place where they add in the fluoride and all the chemicals and everything to they can tell from what neighborhood who's doing drugs. Like, is this neighborhood full of drug addicts? They can tell that stuff. They're keeping track of everything down to your poop. I mean, if you don't think we're at the end, I don't know where you think it's headed, but this is Sweden. They're now, these guys, these Muslim guys, they're taking pictures. 5 Arab migrants filmed themselves robbing 2 Swedish teenagers at gunpoint before stripping them and urinating on them. This act goes beyond a simple robbery. It's a ritual of humiliation and defeat. They really want to take over the world. I'm just saying. Ragamuffin. Look at there. We got the Muffin Man in the house. I love that. I love calling him the Muffin Man. All right. Violent protests continue in Iran after the death of this Masa Amini. You guys have probably heard about this. Let's show you her picture. Okay. She's very pretty. There she is. There's Masa. And she wants to show her hair to you, you guys. She's tired of getting beat up every time she shows her hair. It's just not right. But it's just started a revolution, that's all. She was using her hijab too loosely. So she got killed. She got detained and then she got killed. And then the violence protests broke out. And they started fires and they're like, we're done with this regime. And then today I get on the news and they're saying someone is suggesting, and I went to this site to see who's saying this because it's just a little, clip. And it was said 2 years ago, the United States is going to help you, Iranians. We're going to give you guns. We're going to arm you so you can get over your regime. Is that true? Are we sending guns to Iran now? And like, what about Israel? Like, they don't want Iran to have a bunch of guns. Are we going to arm Iran and then these chickens are driving me up the wall. We're going to arm Iran and then go in there and fight them? They have it both ways. This was another, they're saying that it's over. Wait. We can't play music. So, this is the police that they're all ganging up on. All the police are going to have to resign. There's going to be no police. These people are going to try to take over their government. You watch. Iran is about to explode. Iran is about to go to another level. It looked like he either had a gun. He does, doesn't he? What is that? Or is that a shocker? Is that one of those shockers? He's gonna zap. Those things just make you mad. I got zapped with one in the rear end. Not because I was doing anything. Look at this. There you go, Kate. Teach your kitty to do that. All right, have you you guys been watching Alex Jones? He called it a kangaroo court. His people there at the station were, his studio. They've made like the judge from the other one and the judge from this one. I think this one's in Connecticut. So Texas judge and Connecticut judge. And then he's got the scales of justice in the middle, and they're like flames. And he's saying, well, it's probably like flames of fire, like on our justice system. Here's these two judges, but the flames are going through the people. One of them made one of their eyes like red. You've seen those memes before. Oh, it's been pretty entertaining to me actually to watch it, especially when he's up.
I can go in and I can pull up the reports myself, but I've not been doing that because we don't.
Mr. Jones, the question is who's doing it now when you do get them?
Well, I'm not allowed.
Does anybody send you?
Objection. He's trying to answer, Judge.
I'm not allowed under the judge's order to tell you about what happened to my company.
That's not true, Mr. Jones. What I'm asking
Yes,
you is
it
who
is.
sends you daily sales reports?
He's answered, asked and answered several
I
times.
didn't get the answer, so can you say it again, sir? Who would?
Okay, you're telling me to answer the question.
All right, so, well, I'm going to excuse the jury again. You're gonna get your exercise today for those of you who wear Fitbits. So just put your pads down and you'll follow along.
What's a Fitbit? Anybody tell me what a Fitbit
I think
is?
he's following the rules here. I think he was probably gonna say one of the bankruptcy.
Just the bankruptcy people are in control of it.
Who sends you the daily sales reports?
Objection, objection, objection.
All right, so.
They've taken it
so-
all.
Objection.
Well, that was nice and
Hold
loud.
on.
There, Judge.
So,
That calls for the identity of a person.
no, so in fairness to Mr. Jones, he could have said whatever the lingo is for a bankruptcy. What were you gonna say?
Yes, until yesterday, the CRO, the bankruptcy's in full control of everything.
All right, so,
And they,
That's not responsive to my question.
Objection.
no,
because I can't say it's,
so the question, no, you did the right thing. You asked who sent him who gets the daily sales reports now, and if the answer was the bankruptcy person, then he knows he's not supposed to say that.
I said who sends you daily sales
And
reports?
he says no one does. When he gets them from the bankruptcy people.
I don't think he said no one does.
He
but
said no
That is
one
correct.
3
All
times.
right, so what do you propose to do? Because he's following
Move
the
on.
rules. Okay.
Oh, it's been fun watching this. It's ridiculous what they're doing. Fitbit. Hey, KK. How are you? Fitbit is a wristband with your fitness information. Oh. Okay, so they're getting their exercise. I get it now. Now, this girl here, she's got on I think this is like
variety of
a
reasons.
satanic,
My name is Dr.
a satanic necklace, but have you guys ever had a bad experience going to the doctor where, like, I'm not going to say what happened to me as a child, but my mom left me in the room with this doctor, and what he did was not something you normally do. And I told my mom about it years later, and she's like, oh no. And she's like, that they're not supposed to do that. So I don't trust doctors. And then there was another situation I was in where my neck and everything got hurt in an accident. And that doctor, he was like a physical therapist, and he's like, okay, lay down on this table. He's like, hang your neck off the back of the table. So there's nothing to like lay your head on. Your head weighs like 20 pounds. So like I have to support my neck even today. Like I have this neck pillow that I use to sleep at night so that I have like something to support my neck on. But this guy, he's like, let it go off the back. Now pull your head up. Do those exercises. Like all the way down, all the way up. I'm like, oh my God. It hurts. It hurts. Like, just keep doing it. And then we get in the elevator and he stops the door. He puts his hand in the door so he could go down with me into the elevator. And like I was like 19 or something at the time. And he's like, would you like to come over to my house and help me and my wife paint my house? I was like, what? I was like, no. And he's like, well, do you know where I could get some marijuana? I was like, no. Like, this was like a doctor, man. So, not all doctors. You shouldn't trust all doctors. I'm just saying, don't leave your kids in the room with somebody. This lady, she wants you to leave your children in the room.
Jasmine Reese. I'm the director of the Adolescent and Young Adult Specialty Clinic here at Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital.
Hi there, how are you?
I really love working with adolescents because this is such a unique age where so many changes are happening. What I do here at the Adolescent Specialty Clinic is see teenagers and young adults ages 12.
That's a satanic necklace, isn't it? Isn't that like a... I mean, it kind of looks like a satanic necklace. And she's like dressed in black and look at her hair. And these children are probably vulnerable. And she's like, I love
12 to 21 years old.
Okay, now big breath.
We really see them for a variety of reasons. Sometimes those are for reproductive health reasons. We also work with teens that are struggling with mental health concerns. So those are things like depression, anxiety, even ADHD. We also see teens for other reasons like chronic pain, chronic abdominal pain, headaches, acne. This is a referral-based clinic where we're not doing primary care. We're really taking the time to focus on those adolescent needs.
You feel like you have...
Okay, I just want to point that out. It's on this Libs of TikTok page. It says, Doctor of Adolescent Specialty Clinic at All Children's, John Hopkins, which services kids as young as 12, says part of the patient's visit is having a confidential meeting without the parents to create a safe space for the kids. And what they're doing is they are teaching these children at a very young age, like as soon as they can realize who they like, that they're a boy or a girl, they start asking them, well, what do you think you are? And it's not like a question like, here's your answer. It's like, you get to decide who you are, what you are. Here, like, here's the pronouns available like right now, and we're making up more as we go. You can, make yourself a tree or a bush or anything you want. What is your pronoun? And I would say my pronoun is like, tell it like it is pronoun, whatever pronoun that would be. Because I'm going to tell you the truth and stop treating these children like some sort of messed up cult where it's just anything goes. Because there are things in this world that are set in place, like rules of this world. You're not a tree, okay? You can't call yourself a tree. I mean, you could pretend to be a tree, but you're not really a tree. And it's delusional. It's teaching our kids to be deceived, and there's going to be delusions of every kind we're seeing the beginning of it. All right, this guy here, I'm not going to play it. I'll let you hear what he says a little bit, but he's just saying Russians go do your duty by dying for your homeland
Вечно!
and for God.
Идите смело исполнять свой воинский долг. И помните, что если вы
See, they're like teaching them to
жили
be
за
like patriotic and go die for your country. I think there must be some rule in place where like they need to kill off millions of us, but we have to voluntarily do it or something. Like maybe they had a plan for some people are going to die with certain somethings right off, and then others it will happen at the fourth or the fifth one, and then the sixth one of the you know what. So there's a plan, and we got war that'll get rid of some. There's the fluoride that'll get rid of some of them, or at least dumb them down. It's like 100 degrees. Whoo! I wish it was that warm here. It's only like, well, it's 74. That's kind of perfect. I have to get the rest of my jalapenos. It says in the ER. Oh gosh, I don't want to read your personal story online. Oh. Yeah, God is the creator, but they're teaching them, no, you create whoever you are. Yeah, they're teaching them, you shall be as gods. To forget Christianity, forget Jesus, the way, the truth, and the life, the only thing that gets you to the Father. Forget that. Just go with whatever your little heart tells you, because your little heart is the God. You're the God. That's why when it says, many shall come in my name, maybe that means many shall come and say, I am the Christ. I am the Messiah. I am the God. I am in control of where I go when I die. Really? How do you know? You know, you're not there yet. Okay, the problem with food is out of hand, guys. Even the United Nations food chief is warning hell on earth with the food lows. There's a fertilizer crisis. There's these food processing plants shutting down. They're being told you can only have a certain amount of cows. They're telling people in California the pig stalls have to be a certain size. They have to be 6 feet apart or whatever their rules are. I'm not sure. But they have to like have facilities that will separate the animals more. There's diseases with really every kind of animal you can think of is starting to happen. All the things of the Great Tribulation are lining up. We're seeing the shadows of the things to come. That's what I'm convinced of. Just like this lady's prophecy, she saw it coming, and we can see it almost here. We can see famine is right around the corner. People are already dying from the great famine that's coming. People are already dying from lightning strikes. And look at this house. It's like in the water right here. And I believe that well, I don't just believe, I've seen the weather weapons. And I'm not calling everything a weather weapon, but, you know, keep an eye, because they're definitely being used.
Situation is rapidly deteriorating on the docks in Lewisburg. You can see the behind me, the winds are just picking up the ocean and just flinging it up and over. I'm tasting salt water. I'm smelling the ocean. I have large fishing lights just showing what's going on here on the docks in.
Okay, you get the point, right? All right, here's Spain. Some of these weather videos, they speed them up, which I have no problem with, because you get the idea. Yes, this dream that I had. It was like something small like this, but it doesn't matter anymore. They have super small hypersonic missiles now. It's passed its second consecutive test. Okay, here you go. Here's Biden. There's a video coming up. Keep this picture in mind. She was 12, I was 30. Okay, fluoride is an extremely neurotoxic chemical that's added to the drinking water. Isn't that lovely? It interrupts your basic function of your nerve cells and your brain. It causes docile, submissive behavior, and it dumbs you down. Your IQ is devastated. So, have a glass of water. Now, get you a filter, like a reverse osmosis, which you'll need some minerals to replace that. Some pink Himalayan salt in your food or whatever. Filter your water, at least something like Alexapure or something like that. Yeah, here they're saying help is on the way, and this says Starlink. So they're getting ready to tell us Monday what this Starlink thing is about for Iran. They're shutting down whenever something happens, like in Kazakhstan. Hey, I said that right. I didn't say Kazakhstan. It's Kazakhstan. The internet went down. I never heard anything back from those people. I don't know if they're taken over by the Chinese, but the Chinese were headed in. They're building up this war. They're building up their troops. Chechens for Russia. Ukraine has got the whole of NATO that's prepping behind the scenes. Maybe that's what the prophecy lady meant, that it would start off in a place you wouldn't expect. Some people are saying Syria. Russia's doing something in Syria right now. You could end up in World War III, and this would be a war like we've never had before. Won't even be close because we're being run by stupid people. %90 of water filter won't remove fluoride. It also can't be boiled out either. Makes me not want to drink water anymore, but I guess I'm doing okay with my brain, sort of. We'll see. Okay, so this, like, I think it's funny, and maybe there's something wrong with my brain, but here we go. But it's okay, it's funny in one way. Everybody would laugh at that, but they're blaming this on Christianity. I don't know if that guy's a Christian or not. I wouldn't do that as a Christian. That's not a Christian thing to do, is to do that on some monks. I mean, doing it on anybody I think is hilarious, but I wouldn't personally do that. But if I was a guy, I might. I don't know. It's kind of funny. But what's scary about this is they could take our dumbed down brains from fluoride or whatever, food, MSG, whatever, and they could implement these Noahide laws at any time. They've been signing them in the United States for many, many years. Every president has done it since probably 50 years. So it says this highlights why now more than ever that the Noahide laws are needed to maintain harmony and mutual respect between different faiths. I mean, maybe the guy would have done it on a toddler. I don't know. It doesn't have to be a monk. People are that dumbed down, they're going to just fart on everybody. They'll just take their clothes off in the middle of the street. They'll just do drugs in the middle of the street. You're not going to stop the insanity. by putting in Noahide laws. But in the Noahide laws, if you have a faith of Jesus Christ, then that is considered idolatry to the Jews, because they don't believe that the Messiah has come yet. So you're worshiping other gods, which is an idol. Another belief other than that the Messiah hasn't come yet. So they feel like that death is the way to deal with that. So you got them with the Jews, and you got Muslims want to cut your head off for the same thing, basically, for saying anything bad about Muhammad, or just being an infidel. An infidel is someone who doesn't believe the way that they do about their Muslim faith, and even in their sects, Islam, Shia Muslims versus the Shiite and the what's the other one? I forgot. Shiite and the Sioux whatever. The Sioux people. Saudis? No. I can't remember the name of it now. But anyway, there's different sects of religion. They don't believe the same things on all of them. I'm trying to think of the name of that other one. I can't think of it. Look how this eagle wants to be petted. That's sweet. I got some cute stuff too. Okay, this is what the Chechens. This is what the Chechens are going to come up on. Probably, United States and stuff. Not necessarily Ukrainians. Like, I think NATO's in there already. But they've taught them how to become part of the landscape. They've got equipment that the Russians probably don't have. Here's that lady. She's got her scarf. She's starting a revolution. India, they had we talked about it with the lightning. Here's some of the Russians having to go to war. They're saying goodbye to their children. There's like loads of them. Look at them all. Here, let me make it bigger.
Все мобилизованные. Нас тут, блядь, около, наверное, 1000-1500, блядь. Полк на самом деле, блядь, вот. Просто пиздец, блядь. Опубликуйте какие-нибудь, блядь, пеблики, не пеблики, блядь. Идем давать пизды хохлам. Ребята.
I hate war. I hate this. I wish Jesus would just come. Maybe they could do this so they don't have to go to war. Look at him walk away. He was pretending. You just pretend that you're maimed already. And look at this bear, how gentle. Isn't that cool? Okay, there was a hazmat situation in Europa Valley. Reports of hazardous materials spilled inside a building, sending 7 civilians and 2 firefighters to the hospital. Not sure what that was. Somebody could probably, look that up. Here's how they used to build buildings. Look at these men. They're like, they know what they're doing. See that eagle? You guys know where those eagles were put? In New York. This was when they were building that. I'm not going to say because I'm not really sure, but I know it was in that movie with, was it Ghostbusters? Okay, this is kind of frightening. This is that Noah Havari guy.
The new thing is that there is a kind of alien presence on Earth. A new alien intelligence has invaded our life, not from a distant planet, but from the laboratories, artificial intelligence. And this is something new, it's a game changer, because unlike all previous information technology, it can make decisions on its own, it can analyze us, it can hack us. The printing press couldn't do it, the radio couldn't do it, but the new technology can do it. And for the first time in history, it is becoming possible to hack human beings and therefore also to manipulate human beings on an unprecedented scale. And we don't know how to deal with it. We really have no traditions about how to deal with it because it never existed before in history.
Okay. That stuff throws me for a loop, man, because I know God's going to stop it before it gets too far, but it's kind of like we're going to see. We're going to see the beginnings of these things. And even though it's not going to come to full, humans turning into robots, being completely taken over by the demons, well, maybe it will with the mark of the beast. Sri Lanka. Look at the number of the police. Foreign troops, anybody? Possibly? Guys, people are starving in the world. It's begun. People are starving. They're not getting any help with their prices of their rising food. Every now and then they'll throw us a bone. Like in August, there was no tax on the food. Everything else was taxed, but not the food at the grocery store. And probably nobody cared. Now in the future, in say maybe a year, people will be like, man, they should just stop the taxes on the food. It would really help us out. But I told several people and they were like, I didn't know that, but whatever. Like they did, it wasn't appreciated. You know what I mean? Because it was just throwing a bone or whatever, but they're still able to afford food on the table. But in these, okay, there's a wave of migrants or whatever you want to call them, illegals, immigrants, whatever you want to call them. There's a wave. There's a ton of people coming into our country. We are being invaded. The third world, what this lady said in this prophecy of, was it number 1? Number 2. I can't remember where it was. I'm not going to read the whole thing again, but there's an invasion happening all around the world. You guys need to read this prophecy. I'll put it in there again so you can click on it, because there's a couple things I didn't remember from it that we're here. We're at the outbreak of World War III, and Jesus is coming. It could be this Rosh Hashanah. I'm telling you. The next 3 days, be ready. If Jesus comes, Don't look back. Don't be Lot's wife. Don't be like, oh, I need to finish my schooling. I'm almost done. Oh, I gotta wait for my family. They're not ready yet. Don't have any of that to like go. Just go. If there's a choice to go and you're like hesitant, then you might not get to go. I don't know. I'm just saying, be ready. Oh, thank you, Angel Mist. Good to see you, sister. I've missed you. Oh, what happened to you, KK? Forgot to mention last night in a dream you were being attacked, choked, kicked, punched in the face. I could feel everything. Oh my gosh. Realized it was demonic and said, Our Father, and woke up at 3:33 a.m. Today my body's sore. Whoa. I've had dreams of being attacked. Not like that, but mentally attacked. That is scary. I plead the blood of Jesus over you, KK. May the Lord protect you and keep you safe and put his angels around you. And whatever that was about, we bind these demonic powers that are coming against you in Jesus' name. The Munder fam. Yes, Kate. We met each other that way, and I am so glad that we did. And I miss all of us getting together every day. My heart breaks. It's really hard to imagine why it had to be like this. Okay, let me keep going, or I will cry. Nuclear war is likely. Russia's state TV is saying everyone dies. Nuclear war is likely everyone dies. That's pretty blunt right there. Saying they're right on the edge of that. And I've heard that from several people saying that we are right at nuclear war, that they are considering it all. That they're, well, Russia had the weapons set up to do at the borders. North Korea, that recently came out and said they're ready for nuclear war. Who else has nukes? Does Israel have nukes? Iran has nukes. I totally believe Iran's ready for nukes. And look what's happening in their country. They're in chaos right now. Putting this in the water. The Harvard can confirm fluoride causes cognitive disorders, and yet they're still putting it in the water. Okay. We have a president who's cognitively impaired and in no condition to lead our country, and it could end up in World War III per Trump. Because they're going to take advantage of the United States while we're under this sort of leadership. Spain, we saw the flooding. We saw the girls with the hijabs, taking them off. Yeah, here's where Biden says about the 12-year-old. Watch this.
But guess what? We got a lot to do. Gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway, this woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway, but guess what? We got a lot.
They're all laughing. Is there some sort of inside joke that we're not privy to about this joke? Because he's handsy with a lot of young children. They just think it's funny. And they've heard about this stuff. They had to have heard and been shown. There was even one picture of Biden where he's got this lady next to him, and she's holding the baby, and she's holding it kind of close to him, and he puts his hand right on the crotch of this baby. Sick, man. All right. Putin passes a secret law to send, there it is, 1 million Russians to fight in Ukraine. This is all about to go down. All this prepping. First nuclear reactor in Belgium to be shut down today, despite the higher power prices, due to a law on nuclear phase out. All this climate change, they're shutting down the Nord Stream 1 and 2. They're shutting down the nuclear reactors. And this is a new one in Belgium that they're shutting down. They don't want us to have power. If you have the ability, get you a wood stove. Now, we might go to prison or something for trying to heat our home with some wood. Who knows? We might have to be like the homeless. Go outside, get you a big 55-gallon drum can like the homeless people do and put it in your front yard. You might have to sleep outside. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the answers. That's why everyone's vulnerable. We have to figure out, like, have lots of blankets, wool. Wool will keep you warm. Your hat. If you put a hat on your head, I'm going to make some hats with my crocheting. If you put a hat on your head, the heat rises in your body, and that will keep you warm. The people in the army, they put their hands under their armpits to keep warm. And keep close together, contact with another family member or whatever, your dog, body heat will keep you warm. A candle and any lit candle or anything like that is gonna bring heat. You can even, somebody told me this, like if you have tuna and it's got oil in it, I mean it smells gross, but if you've got oil, don't throw away your oil. Like you mean like, oh, that's old oil. In the future, you might be doing something with them oil. Somebody told me to take or like a video on YouTube. Take Vaseline and put it in cotton swabs, and then like those things would burn for a while. So I don't know. Just the little things that you might remember later. If you need water, this is gross, but the back of your toilet holds a bunch of water. Your water heater, which I'm not sure how to get that out of there, but there's water in the water heaters. Ways to light a fire, a magnifying glass. I'm not sure if glasses would work. Mine are pretty strong, so mine might work. I'm not going to tell you the other one, because if you touch something with a battery, you could get a shock from it. But like someone had said, put a little bit of stainless steel or some sort of scrubby thing that's like sparks, and you can start a fire with a battery. But don't say that I said that, because you might get shocked. I mean, I might end up doing something to myself. So yeah, here is North Korea saying they're preparing for the launch of a ballistic missile. This guy, listen to how this guy talks.
The truth is, there's a lot more Republicans out there taking credit for the new bridges and those boats that are collapsing than actually voted for it. I love going by and they're, and this is a great thing.
They laugh again. He can't talk. I guess it sounds funny. The bridges and the bulkers are contracting. Whatever he said. And they're like laughing. The Republicans are taking credit for the bridges and the cloppity-clop, then actually voted for it. And that to them was funny. All right, here's a whole bunch of migrants. Now, this one's in Yuma, but it's so fast you can't really see, but there's like all different kinds of people coming over here from all the poor countries. And he's got music to it. But they're from there's ISIS and all sorts of people coming in here. They just get let in. There was a rumor going around about Xi that he was, arrested. But that's not true. Somebody's spreading that rumor, just so you know. Bees don't fly in the dark. Watch this. So they better get their butt into their house. Look at how they just drop. So they have to sleep outside if they don't get home in time? I have to look this up. I'll do it later. Chinese troops, weapons arrive in Congo. So the Chinese are going to Africa now. Look how they're waving their flags. Look how they've been told. Propaganda. Wear this mask, because look, they're all the same. So they had to wear a special mask. This guy's staring at me like I want to punch him in the face. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that. That one was a UN flag. That one right there is a UN flag. Oh, it's on. It is on. If they send those people here, it is on. They're sending them to Africa, guys. In the middle of Africa. Why? Weapons arrive in Congo. And the Chinese troops. Are they taking over Africa now? I don't know about this. I need to look up that one. And I've been keeping up with stuff. Have you guys heard any of this? There's some stuff that I've been keeping up and I've not heard some of this stuff. And what is this? Like, I saw the one with the lap and everything, but I didn't ever see this right here with the pharmaceutical thing. What are these things on the bottom of his hoofs? The balls. And what's he sitting on? A big ball. Well, Satan, you ain't got no balls. You just can transform with some for temporarily, but you weren't created with balls. Trump on the FBI. I think they took my will. I haven't listened to this one yet. I want to see what they're talking about. Because I kind of think that too. Maybe he got the mark of the beast or something. Because if he had will enough, he could have done several things that I'm not going to mention because I'm not allowed to. And see, that's what Alex Jones is going through too. He can't mention, like, there's like 5 things that he's not allowed to talk about with the jury. They're not allowed to listen to how he, well, I don't know. I don't want to go into it. If you want to watch it, you can. Some people don't even watch Alex Jones, so.
2 of this question is this. They took your passport, they took your medical records, they took your tax records, and probably the scariest part to me, and this is why a broad warrant like this to me would be dangerous. We do have a 4th Amendment. They also took, 500 pages of attorney-client privilege information? Have you gotten that back, by the way?
A lot. I don't know. I really don't know. They took a lot. I think they took my will. I found out yesterday. I said, where is it?
Will.
I think they took my will. Could cause a lot of problems.
No.
That could cause a lot of problems if that gets published from people that won't be so happy or maybe will be very happy.
Okay.
But no, I think they took my will. No, it's a horrible.
Oh, that will. I thought you were talking about your free will. Yep, we still got our free will for now. Okay, so the guy in Israel is the new prime minister, is for a 2-state solution. So this could go forward at any time. So yeah, Iran, this was what happened before the thing went down. The internet went down 2 days ago. Here's Nigeria, flooded. This is the worst in, let's see, maybe that was another one. 1,500 graves at a cemetery was swept away, 300 dead, 500 injured, 100,000 displaced, thousands of hectares of farmland destroyed. This is in Africa, so the Chinese are on the way. Is it because of the flood? I don't know. Where's Nigeria? Because the Chinese were headed to Central Africa. That's kind of in the center. I would think more right in here would be right in the middle, but I don't know. I'm not sure where the Chinese are going or why they're headed there. This lady gives a really cool thing on the monster drink, how it's the Vav Vav Vav, which is 666, and then she says when you tip it upside down, like it's got a cross on it, and when you tip it upside down, you're given the sign of an upside down cross. The O has an upside down right here, which I don't know. Is that a cross? Doesn't really looks like it looks like, you know, I don't know. Sometimes people make things into things too. So, but yeah, 666, that is definitely looks like a Vav. This person here is calling for, oh, has it been taken down? It's been taken down. They were calling for genocide of white people. Russia must be punished for the invasion, says Zelensky. Oh, Bitcoin. Okay. Hackers stole 6.2 billion with a B worth of crypto in 2021, up 80% from 2020. Fraudsters are having a field day in the crypto ecosystem. $6.2 billion was hacked. I don't think I'm doing crypto. I mean, they might force us into it, and then that be a way for them to steal all the money from people. Delaware nixes vote by mail, says it can't be used in November midterms. So no voting by mail in Delaware this year. Now, see, that might help some, but they've got other ways of stealing the vote. So I don't know. We might be at the end here of the voting. I don't know. Fentanyl's up 323% in one border region. They're sending in the fentanyl to kill people, basically. The cops all over the world are being brutal. They're just being brutal. And, you know, it started with the mask. They're like, you don't have a mask on. Smack you or hit you with the club upside the head. So they're being taught this is how you deal with people. It's how you get them in line. Now, there's a system that's coming into this area that's going to probably be bad here in about a week. So the Fiona is having a real big impact on Canada, Nova Scotia right now. 170-mile-an-hour winds. Oh man, you guys are going to love this. See, this is the kind of thing we're going to get to do in heaven real soon. Like maybe in like tomorrow. Tomorrow or by the 27th. The next 3 days. High alert day. Rosh Hashanah, Feast of Trumpets, God's appointment to come and get us. Now, it might be this year, it might be next year, but I don't think it'll go past that. Because it's going to happen before World War III. I mean, that's what I was always taught. I'm ready to fly. Here we go. Woo! Look at that. Oh, I want to fly. Whoosh. That's how it feels when you get raptured in my dreams, too. That when you go on a swing and you feel the pit of your stomach like that. That's how it felt when I was going up in my dreams of the rapture. Just whoosh. And you go into your, like, to Jesus. He's up there. He's like this. He's like waiting for you. He's like, come on home. And one time I looked down at him and I was up there and he was like, like everybody was flying past, probably going to go to judgment, like the Bema seat to get your rewards and for you to understand God's will for your life and how you did your own will. I think that's what Judgment Day is going to be about. Like you're there, you're going to stay there. You're not like going to go up and then have to be kicked out. If you go up, you're staying up. You've accepted Jesus as your Savior, and you get to be an inheritance of everything. You're royalty. King Jesus. Christ the King. So, King Jesus. And we are royalty, and we will see palaces like the elite here. They've got, up there. If Jesus can create the world and everything and the universe and everything in it, now all that, 6 days, man, everything, then he's been preparing a place for you since then. And that's going to be phenomenal. Like, can you imagine? Like, and I think it'll be like a zooming in of things too, like down, like you've seen the pictures where they could do digital art and you like go into the basket and inside the basket there's a flower and then you go into the flower and you're seeing all this other stuff like in the side the flower and it changes like to different scenery. Then you're like going into that and you're seeing all this and that. Like, our minds are capable of so much more than what we've been given just for this little test of, choosing God as your family through Jesus. All right, death toll from Iran's wave of unrest was up to 17, and that was 2 days ago. I don't know what's been happening there since the internet's been down. Let's look and see. Net blocks. Iran. All right, let's just see. Internet disrupted the 19th. Down to the 19th, so it's not back up. See there? Way down here. Let's just go there and see if they got anything new about it. Nope. 21st, down. So, we got 19 or 17, no, 31 dead. 31 dead because of the riots. This one's in Moscow. You got the cops beating the crap. Can you imagine being in that restaurant and seeing somebody's head get slammed up to the window while you're having your quiet dinner? All right, this was important right here. I tried to look into it, but I couldn't find the whole clip. But there's a video of this Rashid Tlaib, and she's talking to the CEOs of the banks, and she's talking about the climate chaos, how we're going to stop future gas price, future oil, right? Gas projects, no new gas projects, no new oil projects. We're shutting it all down.
You have all committed, as you all know, to transition the emissions from lending and investment activities to align with pathways to net zero in 2050. Do you know what the International Energy Agency has said is required to meet our global 2050 net zero targets of limiting global temperature rise to 2.7 degrees Fahrenheit or 1.5 degrees Celsius? So no new fossil fuel production starting today. That's like zero. So I would like to ask.
No more fossil fuel production as of today. Does that mean no new pumps? No more, new stations of getting the oil? Can they still use the old ones to get some oil? We've been sending all of our oil reserves over to freaking Ukraine or somewhere.
Ask all of you and go down the list, because again, you all have agreed to doing this. Please answer with a simple yes or no. Does your bank have a policy against funding new oil and gas products? Mr. Diamond.
Absolutely not, and that would be the road to hell for America.
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be the road to hell for America. So right now, these CEOs, these banks, they're refusing. Or at least that one. She's threatening him now. Listen to this.
That's fine. Sir, you know what? Everybody that got relief from student loans has a bank account with your bank should probably take out their account and close their account. The fact that you're not even there to help relieve many of the folks that are in debt, extreme debt because of student loan debt, and you're out there criticizing it.
Bringing up the student loan debt and all that, like, people should leave your bank now, because we're for this climate structure of hell on earth. We're going to have hell for America. Stop the gas projects. No more future oil. No more future oil and gas projects. So are the old ones still in place? Because they're shutting those down too. Some of them anyway. We're in trouble, guys. They're going to try to kill us, I think.
You have all committed, as you all know.
Okay. Hundreds of whales are dead in, I think this was Australia or Tasmania, which is near Australia. I think it's on the west, north, south, east, west. Yeah, I think it's on the west. I had a video. Was it this one? And I really gotta go pee. Sorry, I have to go to the powder room. I want you to see the pictures, though. There they are. Look at them all. 230 whales. What are they doing to the water? Why are these animals dying? Some people will say, oh, the ocean's heated up. Well, it's saying, says, reconnecting. It says reconnecting, but mine's not. And no one's saying. Okay, I'm going to stop. Because no